Rangers could be sitting on a potential transfer goldmine, according to a figure closely connected to one of the club's recent deals. A bold claim has now been made about just how much money the Ibrox side could eventually receive for one of their signings, a prediction that may surprise many supporters given the reaction when the move was first completed. At the time, the transfer was met with plenty of skepticism, but opinions appear to be shifting as the season has progressed. Now, with the player beginning to silence early critics, talk of a massive future windfall is starting to gather momentum. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Barry Fry believes Rangers could eventually land a huge transfer windfall if they choose to cash in on Emmanuel Fernandez, with the Peterborough United chief confident the defender's value could soar into the £30 to £40 million bracket. Fernandez arrived at Ibrox last summer in a deal worth around £3 million from Peterborough United, a transfer that initially flew under the radar. At the time, the English centre-back was largely unknown to the Rangers' support, and there was a degree of scepticism surrounding the move. However, what once appeared to be a relatively low-profile signing has quickly developed into one of the club's most promising success stories. Former Rangers midfielder Barry Ferguson recently labelled the defender a bargain acquisition, and Fry appears to share that sentiment. The Peterborough director of football admits that when the transfer first went through, he was far from popular among the Rangers fan base, with some supporters suggesting his club had managed to secure an excellent deal by selling Fernandez. Yet, as the season has progressed, Fry has been encouraged by the 24-year-old's development and believes the defender is now proving his worth in Glasgow. Indeed, Fernandez has rapidly established himself as a key figure in the Rangers' backline. After initially struggling for opportunities during the early weeks of the campaign, he has since cemented a place among the first names on the team sheet. His growing influence has not only come through defensive contributions, but also through an impressive goal return for a centre-back. The Englishman has scored 5 goals in 19 league appearances for the Ibrox side, underlining the attacking threat he poses from set pieces. He also found the net in his sole appearance in the Scottish League Cup, further supporting Fry's claim that Fernandez would deliver at both ends of the pitch. Reflecting on the transfer and the reaction that followed, Fry explained that he always believed Fernandez simply needed patience and the right opportunity to showcase his ability. When we sold Manny to Rangers, the fans up there had a right go at me, saying he was the worst player they'd signed. Fry told the Scottish Sun, "I just knew Fernandez had to be given a chance. I made it clear Rangers would eventually sell him for £30 million, or even £40 million. I said he'd score goals as well and just come through strong for them. Honestly, he just had to be given an opportunity. Early on, they didn't give him one. He only got 1 or 2 games, and I wasn't popular up there with Rangers fans. Just look at Manny now." In other news, Rangers supporters have begun to make their feelings clear regarding the future of Skov Olsen at Ibrox, with many fans unconvinced that the winger has done enough to warrant a permanent transfer when the season comes to an end. The Denmark international arrived at Rangers on loan from Wolfsburg earlier in the campaign, with the Scottish club negotiating an option to buy the 26-year-old once the temporary deal expires. Under the terms of the agreement between the two clubs, Rangers would be required to pay a fee in the region of £9 million if they decide to trigger that clause during the summer transfer window. At the time of his arrival, there was genuine excitement among sections of the Rangers support that Skov Olsen could develop into a key attacking outlet on the right flank. His pedigree at international level with Denmark, combined with his previous spells in European football, suggested Rangers were bringing in a player capable of adding creativity, goals, and attacking unpredictability to their forward line. However, as the weeks have progressed, the reaction from supporters has become increasingly lukewarm. A number of fans took to social media to respond to comments made by former Rangers midfielder Alex Rae regarding the club's potential summer recruitment plans, and the overwhelming sentiment was that Skov Olsen has yet to show enough to justify the sizable investment required to make his move permanent. Several supporters were blunt in their assessment of the winger's performances so far. One fan argued that although there is clearly a talented footballer within him, he appears to have struggled with the demands and expectations that come with playing at Ibrox, writing, "Not good enough, there's a player in him, but he seems overawed, similar to Lammers." Another supporter echoed those frustrations, admitting their expectations had been far higher when the move was first announced. "Not for me," they wrote. "My expectations were that he was a similar player to Laudrup, quick and skillful. Sadly, I haven't seen either." That comparison to Brian Laudrup highlights the level of quality Rangers supporters often expect from attacking players arriving from Denmark, particularly given the legendary impact Laudrup had during his time in Glasgow in the 1990s. Others pointed towards previous loan players who had made a far stronger impression. When the likes of Abdallah Sima and Václav Černý arrived on temporary deals in the past, many supporters were quick to call for the club to secure permanent transfers due to their immediate influence on the pitch. That same enthusiasm has not been present in the case of Skov Olsen. One fan summed up the feeling among many by stating, "No, he's done nothing. Should have kept Černý." Another supporter, James, added, "Hasn't convinced us so far, not what we were expecting." Meanwhile, another response delivered perhaps the most definitive verdict of all, with a short but clear statement, "Not a chance." While criticism has been widespread, it would be unfair to say Skov Olsen has shown no promise whatsoever. There have been moments where his technical ability and attacking instincts have been visible, with flashes of creativity and occasional signs that he could develop into a genuine goal threat. Nevertheless, the overall numbers and consistency have yet to match what supporters were hoping for when he first arrived. For a player whose permanent transfer would cost around £9 million, expectations are naturally high, and fans appear to feel that his current output does not yet justify that level of investment. There is still time for the winger to alter that perception before the end of the season. A sustained run of form, perhaps a spell where he contributes goals or assists across several consecutive matches, could quickly change the narrative, particularly if those contributions help Rangers secure important victories. Competition for attacking places may also influence the club's thinking. JD Gassama is also pushing to establish himself as a regular starter, and if he manages to outperform Skov Olsen in the closing months of the campaign, Rangers may decide their summer funds would be better spent strengthening other areas of the squad. Another concern raised by supporters has been the winger's ability to beat defenders in one-on-one situations. For a wide player expected to stretch opposition defenses and create chances, Skov Olsen has at times struggled to get past his marker and deliver the kind of decisive attacking moments Rangers require. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.